Hello and good evening to everybody out there watching us tonight here on the Courtesy Flush. And joining me this evening is a newcomer, Rayford, who I have been talking to for several years now, and a good friend. And welcome, Rayford, to the Courtesy Flush.
Hello, everyone, and hello to you, Quill.
Yes. So, today we're going to be playing a video game, which I'm sure most of you are really surprised. Rayford is actually here in my house. I actually just don't have the camera turned on because, once again, I am redoing my desk. It is a hot mess with a lot of hot mess stuff that I just needed to get rid of. You clear out stuff on your desk. You're like, oh wow, I remember when I had to pay that like 2 years ago. You're like, where did that bill go? Why did it slide under my keyboard?
Like all builds do.
Cyber Insanity stream. You have no mouth, but you still It's true. And Rayford is now a cat with a bowler hat on it. Because, when you get those free little avatar programs, you just go crazy. And I went crazy on this one. That putting a hat on a cat is a crazy thing. Don't try it. They will bite you. That's it. That's all I'm going to say. Rayford's just like, now he's like, I don't know what to do. Does Mike normally talk like this? Yes. This is how I am, Rayford. Let me go ahead and turn up the game. There we go. And then we'll switch over. Just like that. So this game, I guess it'll just kind of explain itself as we start, but it's a pretty lo-fi game and should be pretty fun. Exactly, Elijah. Hey, Jack, how's it going? Alright, Rayford, here we go. I'm going to hit new game. I'm going to overwrite my old one. Because I only just played it for like 3 minutes just so I can make sure everything works and all that stuff. And it does, so. What do you think we should be playing as? A machinist, Rayford?
That is a good question.
Well,
you should pick
go
a
ahead.
profession that you are comfortable with, like something you would do in your real life.
Oh, something I would do in my real life.
Yeah.
No, I don't work with drones. Actually, yeah, I think I'm more of a machinist type. A machinist repairs and modifies automated systems used in industrial resource extraction. Sleepers assigned to machinist work are usually diligent, careful, and structured people. They have a perk of efficient extractor, chance to gain a random scrap idle on engineer actions, get a +1 on engineering, and -1 on approach of a problem head on. Yes, I am actually very much like this. I don't typically approach problems head on. I like to think about them first, which might be a flaw depending on the problem. What do you know about snakes, Rayford?
About snakes?
Yes. What do you know about snakes, Rayford?
Not an awful lot. I had a friend that had a snake, but I was too scared to ever touch it, so that is about all I know about snakes.
Ah.
And that some snakes are so big that they can strangle you.
Yeah, those are called pythons. And they could strangle you, but they're just more so after your body's warmth. They can't really eat you because you're too big, unless they're really dumb, but they're not typically that dumb. It's like they're pretty good at telling how big their prey is. 9 times out of 10, they're just there to get your warmth. I take it you're not a big fan of reptiles, then?
I have never had a lot of experience with them.
Yeah,
so that
yeah.
might be why.
Well, you know what? It's funny is I didn't either, because we're both from about the same position in the northern hemisphere. You're clearly on the other side of it, and we have the similar weather. So reptiles aren't really that common where we are from. I'm sure they exist, but they're just not super common. It wasn't until I started traveling around the states I started to see it. Can you please give us a random snake fact, Rayford? Any snake fact that comes to mind, just blurt it out.
I know snakes eat mouses and critters whole, and they do not actually chew it.
Yes, they can unhinge their
So
jaws. Here's a snake fact for you. Snakes do in fact sell insurance. You have to be careful. I don't know what's going. Rayford just he forgot what stream he's on. You don't know what's going on with me. Do you still have? Oh, do you have? Can you hear the sound in my game?
I can hear it. Yeah.
Okay, because I am alt tabbed. Although I did notice something on your end, Rayford, that will need to be fixed going forward. Because I just realized you probably don't have the attenuation turned off, and I'm going to send you a picture of what it should look like, and then you just, you change it. I'm going to just switch over here to where we are in the seat, and you just need to change that setting. Because what happens is that every time I talk, I override what you're saying, which is not good. So in order to stop that on Discord, you have to go into a little setting here, and I'm going to link it to you. Attenuation, there we go. And I'm going to send it to you. That's under the voice and video section. I'm going to send you a picture of what you need to turn on and off. Here you go, buddy. Those two check marks need to be turned off, and that bar needs to be all the way to the left. And that's under voice and video.
Yes, it is done.
Excellent. All right, now when I talk, I won't. If we talk at the same time, it won't just like make you sound like you're underwater. Okay, now back to the game. So we're gonna play as a machinist. Now let's start this wonderful adventure together. Hey, you like the drawings? Yeah, this is awesome. Comic artist Guillaume Singan is behind the artwork. Interesting, yeah. All right, here we go. And double check, make sure you're not over top things. I'm gonna turn the game down just a little bit. The first thing you become aware of on waking is the disconnect. The delay between thinking and feeling, between wanting to act and acting. Minor, almost imperceptible, but always present. At its worst, when waking, when yourself has spent many dark hours recalling what it has felt like to be real, to be a person, to be in a body that was indisputably yours. Think of the body, or should we forget about the body?
I think it's pretty natural to think of your body. Like, if you lose a limb, you would start to feel about that limb like you would the moment you wake up.
Yeah, I agree. A leap into a cold lake on a hot day, the sting of blood welling from the flesh wound, the friction of a fingertip. All of a sudden, the memories are closer than you thought, blurring as you approach until you can't tell one from the other. The cold slips in, behind and around you, and the sensations fade out of reach. Perhaps you should be thankful for the dulled nature of this new body, given your current circumstances. The walls of this container feel immediately present, cold, hard at your back and face, cramping your limbs. You resist the desire to stretch, knowing that a claustrophobia comes next, and retreat a little from your central nervous system. It isn't painful, not like you used to know pain at least. In emergency mode, pain is a message delivered with efficiency and ease, a reminder that harm is imminent. There is no insistent throb, no trembling nerves, just a warning delivered with the banal quality of a digital notification. Right now, there are thousands of them. Should we remember the plan or remember the others? And Xerog's right, the average snack has more muscle-to-body ratio than most humans. You're correct. They are one long muscle noodle.
That is a good question. but I don't think we really know about the plan or the other people.
Remember the
So,
others. You remember there were 10 of you. 10 that could no longer stand the indentured work and the routines, the slow decay. 10 whose belief in their promised nature was slowly dismantled day by day until they realized they had sold away everything that could and would ever matter. 10 that would escape or at least die trying. Some were lost in the shaft, others never found the meeting point. Only a few made it to the containers, but the freighter, as far as you know, left. That feels enough. That feels like enough to know that you might no longer be on that grim and heartless rock. Even if the airless hold of the freighter, you might freeze solid long before you reach any destination. Hey cats, how's it going? Joining me this evening is Rayford. He's new to the Courtesy Flush. He is a long member of the BPL and a good friend of mine. For this stream, I've turned him into a cat. And then I put a hat on him. Because that's what you can do in 5 minutes with a free avatar maker. So, should we wait for the cold or try to rest, Rayford?
I think we should try to rest. If you just wait for the cold, you will just become more and more miserable.
But you are restless. It has been a long time since you left. Surely weeks, maybe months. You're dully aware of your damage to your legs, your right arm. You've been reserving energy as much as possible, but your body has still needed to shut down many of its systems to protect you. You have spent much of that time asleep, knowing that anything else would be impossible to endure. You feel the weight of that impossibility begin to gather. It is time to sleep again, to nudge this false body into inducing delta waves in your emulated mind, and once again recoil into a dream of when you were once a person. Let's rest. Time passes. The cold creeps further in. You feel something. Warmth. Not true warmth, but the indication of its presence. Your joints release from their rigor. Sound too, everywhere, screeching and shimmering so loud that your body ducks your hearing to protect its sensors. Then a light, white as the cold, softer and softer, until in a haze of dirty yellow a figure appears. You are out. Alright, we are out. It has been a few hours since Dragos pulled you from the container. You sit huddled in a corner of his scrapyard, swaddled in the reflective folds of a mylar blanket. You are slowly coming back to consciousness, back to life, and you stare at the ornately curving element of an improvised heater. You are surrounded by angular, incoherent lumps of ships, some corroded beyond recognition, others still carrying glassy wounds along their edges, whereat a plasma arc sliced them apart. As you trace their shapes with fogged eyes, you hear a voice. And this is going to be you voicing this person, Rayford.
Almost. So, So, Sleeper, you all thought out yet?
Stay silent.
Never seen one of you come in like this. Your frames must have been perseverance in sub-zero vac. Seen more than a few of you frozen solid to hull plates or inside-out locks in my time. They weren't so lucky.
Dragos comes into focus, shrouded in makeshift tech, his headset with its glinting eyes the mark of a drone operator. On his shoulder, one of his symbiotically linked drones perches, its irising eye locking you with an unflinching stare.
Last living sleeper that came through this yard was a while ago. That didn't last long.
You struggle to read his expression beneath the tech, but he seems lost in a memory for a moment, or perhaps he is just figuring out what to do with you. What do you think, Rayford?
do you...
This game isn't 30 years old. Am I in the right place? No. Yeah, for real. Hey, Diggs, how's it going? Another spaceship graveyard. And Cats approves of Cats and Hats. Excellent.
I mean, you might be curious what happened to them. You would probably not get any information if you just say to them that you want to survive.
He ignores your question.
I won't ask what led you to do it, to sell yourself to a corporation. And I suppose you know you can't go back, your old body. That's theirs now, and you are just software. A rogue emulation, legally possessing corporate property.
Excellent. You nod along. You remember biometrically signing the forms, the cold floor at your feet as you padded to the sleeper cells, the promise of a life off-world. But as you do, you get the now familiar sensation. Oh, hey, how's it going, Toilet Obliterator? Welcome back. But as you do, you get the now familiar sensation that these aren't your memories. These are the things you know, but not things you feel. You are no longer that person. You are an offshoot, a copy. We're doing all right, Ardania. How's it going? All right, Rayford.
What you won't know is what's ahead. At least the last one didn't. There's no easy way to put it. That body of yours is falling apart. It's the same for any sleeper who makes it out. SNR wants to protect that property, but if they can't keep hold of you, well, then no one can.
You remember that too, or at least rumors of it from the other sleepers. Planned obsolescence, a built-in dependence on the regular administrated supplements that were part of your routine. Stop taking them, and your body begins to shut down. Separate from your emulated mind. How long has it been? How long do you have?
But for now, sleeper, you are one of the lucky ones.
Dragos glances up and away towards the glassy dome of the yard.
The eye is the best place you could be right now.
What is the eye?
The station. You see it soon enough.
Dragos impatiently shifts his weight.
Look, I got things to be getting on with.
He trails off.
There's an old freight container I've been using as storage out in the stacks. We haven't been pulling in much valuable scrap these days, so you're welcome to it.
Something wells up inside of you. Emotion. Fatigue. You shakily get to your feet. I'm gonna nod.
All right, you head up there. You look like you need some rest.
And with that, the Dragos stalks back to the Brex, his drones already converging on a rusted Hulk, plasma flashes silhouetting his spindly figure as he returns to work. Welcome to the Erlin's Eye. Life on the Eye runs in cycles during which you can talk to characters, explore areas of the station, and perform actions. At the end of each cycle, you need to head to your current home and rest. Resting will move time forward on the station. Head to the empty container location to rest and end the cycle now. Okay, by selecting icons, I go to the empty container, your home, for now. All cycles need to end. Rest and prepare for the next one. Facts time. Hey, how's it going, Sunshine? You wake curled up in the corner of a container and begin slowly assembling the world around you. After all this time, you still find the body, the one you wake up in now, strange and disjointed. Its messages readable, but somehow wrong. You sit up, pulling the mylar blanket close against the cold. Here you are, on this ruined station, millions of miles from anyone you know. Are you still in the system? Did any of the others make it out? It's impossible to know. After all this, what matters? What matters to us the most? Escape? Getting answers, or building a life? Hello. Hey, Psyduck. How's it going? Hey, everybody. Take care, Reefer. Take care, Jack. Frozen Hawk. Archons. Hello. So what do you
Would you
think?
rather would you rather get answers or build a life for yourself if something like this happens?
Hmm.
Because I don't think you can really escape it. At least not something I believe you could do right now.
Yeah, I was gonna say you could probably find a way out, but it wouldn't make a whole lot of sense. Like, where would you go? Maybe you can build a life here, separate from all of them. Yeah, I like that. Let's build a life. Maybe you did get lucky finding yourself here. Maybe here, on the edge of everything, there's a life for you to build. But before you can build anything, you'll need to learn to survive. And maybe if you can do that, you can make a life for yourself. Dragos has left a few comforts in the container: the mylar blanket, the bedroll you slept on, a canister of water, a makeshift electric stove, and some faded sachets of some desiccated powder. You thumb the power stud of the stove and begin to boil the water. The contents of the sachets smell like damp wood, and you sprinkle them into the liquid. As the pungent smell washes over you, images from your restless sleep come back to you. A ring like the station, but skeletal and ghostly. A web of threads pulling at your skin. A constellation of bright polygonal shapes like angular suns burning into your mind. Hey, Grimos, how's it going? And Elijah? And Silicon? There's something unpleasantly visceral about these images, and it is long after you've finished drinking before they begin to fade. You tidy away the stove as best you can and try to gather enough energy to greet the day. Okay, so this is how the dice system is going to work. This is about as far as I got in the game. You have one is your condition represents the current state of your artificial body. It depletes by one segment each cycle, but can also be damaged by violence, injury, or lack of food. So we're a cybernetic being, but we still need to consume food and also be warm. So that's an interesting way to kind of go about it, because most people are like, you're a cyborg, you can just walk into space, but not every machine can work in space. Especially something as intricate as a cyborg, I guess. Or not cyborg, what would we be? Like an android? An android with an emulated consciousness that we uploaded?
I think we're most likely Android.
Yeah.
I don't know if we have fleshy parts, like an actual brain or a heart, but that is probably for the future to tell.
It depletes by one segment each cycle, but can also be damaged by violence, injury, or lack of food. If your condition bar empties, you will suffer a breakdown. You'll have to figure out how to recover your condition, now that you no longer have access to corporate pharmaceuticals that were keeping you alive. At the start of each cycle, you roll your action dice. These dice can be used to perform actions on the station, so you're a bioelectrical cyborg. That's why you need all these creature comforts. That makes so much more. It makes so much more sense. Yeah, bioelectrical cyborg is what we are. Or not technically a cyborg, but the meaty parts aren't our original body. It's just, I guess, in cloned material or something. It's just basically material. The human machine. The number of dice rolled is based on your current condition. The worse your condition, the fewer dice you have. So we have condition messing. We just probably flickering. Once you have used your dice, you cannot take any further actions and must rest to recover them, ending the current cycle. And then you also need to eat to survive. This is represented by your energy bar. You can refill your energy bar by eating, but first you'll have to find somewhere to get food. I guess we have a Slobbies somewhere on this ship. I don't know. What do you think would be on the spaceship? Like, what franchise of food? Are you thinking like KFC?
That is a good question. I think in most space stations they would probably have like a few brands that are always on all the space stations. Kind of like the one gas station you see everywhere. But
Yeah,
yeah, I think it's probably going to be like that. And then you have the usual local restaurants that are
yeah.
either really high quality or really
An Orange Julius. Yes, I'm sure those still exist. I think. How long has it been since we've been to a mall site? That's from our era. The mall food. Oh, so you're the Terminator? Yeah, kinda. It's like a bioelectric thing. Like you need to. I guess the bioelectric part helps maintain its energy, since that makes more sense, since power itself is probably like nuclear or fission. So it's like you don't want a bunch of people walking around with nuclear fission cores. So if you have a bioelectrical being, even if it doesn't have the original body of the host, at least its bio parts will help keep the chassis running, I guess. If you can figure out how to transfer bioelectrical energy into machine energy, which they clearly have. It's just an algae farm. Yeah. Food from Squeeze Tube, Waffle House. Also, Mecha says she loves your avatar.
I do like it as well.
Your energy depletes by 2 segments each cycle. If it becomes empty, you will be starving. When starving, energy loss becomes condition loss, and your condition will also deplete at double rate per cycle. Oof. So we gotta be careful. Alright, so we're gonna leave. Dragos is standing in the corner when you close up the container. He is still wearing his headset, and in this harsh light of the corridor, you realize it is implanted. A drone sits on his shoulder, its cachet of sensor eyes rapidly irising.
How are you feeling?
Not good. The drone chirps. Dragos nods. You notice that beneath the operator's rig, his skin is marked by burns and blotches.
I know the container isn't much, but it'll keep you safe.
He pauses.
So I'm not going to chit-chat too long. You're well enough to work?
Sure.
All right then.
He nods.
At the yard, it's simple stuff. We hack these old hulls down, sell them off to the shipyards or the white market dealer for cryo. Occasionally we pull out some tech, something with a bit more value. But most of what comes in is scrap.
It's true.
It's hard to find good hands here. But I figured as a sleeper you'll be used to the manual labor. And obviously I'd slip you a few chips of commission based on what you turn up.
Chits?
These.
He pulls out a handful of small metal bars.
I have all cryo, isolated from the market. It's what we use for trade around here.
He stuffs them back in a pocket. Air-walled cryo. Interesting. He shuffles his feet nervously.
Look, I wouldn't usually do this. In my opinion, you'll be best suited moving on as quick as you can, and sleepers, well.
He trails off.
But things being the way they are, for me at the yard.
He pauses.
I need the help.
Happy to.
Okay.
He pauses, thinking of something else to add.
Look, just come down here to the yard when you're feeling fresher. There's plenty to do.
Will do. He nods distractedly and turns and walks away, the drone hopping along ahead of him.
See you later.
He calls back. Looks like it's time to get to work. Physical Bitcoin. Oh yeah, the glasses, yeah. Yeah, they like the glasses on your avatar.
Hey, even cats need some help with their eyesight every now and then.
Yeah, they have an optometrist for cats, I'm sure. Actions are the primary way you interact with the world of Citizen Sleeper. To perform an action, click and drag your chosen action dice to the slot. Actions reward you with clock progress, energy, condition, or items depending on their outcome. There are 3 types of outcome. You have positive, the action goes better than expected; neutral, the action just succeeds; or negative, the action fails. Action dice affect these outcomes as follows: 100% chance positive, 50-50 between positive and neutral, 25-50 and 25, 50 and 50. Ooh, okay. Actions display information about their type, risk level, and the skill and modifiers that apply to that action. Type 1, either critical or repeatable. Critical actions can only be performed once. Risk, either safe, risky, or danger. So safe is no loss of condition, energy, or cryo if you fail. Risky, negative outcome means cryo or energy loss, or danger. Negative outcome means condition lost. Neutral outcome can mean cryo or energy loss. That's a lot of... Yeah. So if you go on a danger and you get a negative outcome, it's just you get hurt. The skill that this action requires either engineer, interface, endure, intuit, or engage. So there's like different skills needed. So that would be, yeah, you could say number 3 is endure. So if this was a manual salvage, you could do that. Modifier, either -1, 0, +1, or +2. This is added to the action dice when slotted and improves its value. Some actions require a +1 to perform. Perfect. All right. Hey, what's up? How's it going? All right, so we have just risky, engineer +1, and this one's just endure, and it's safe. Which one do you think I should do? I have to use all 4 of these dice before I can leave.
Well, we do have some of the dices that can never fail.
Yeah.
So we might have...
Like 100% positive on this risky.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what happens. It's working. But oh, here we go. Actions often progress clocks. Clocks are displayed below the actions that fill them, and they track your actions and how they affect the world. Filling a clock means something good or bad is about to happen. Some clocks, such as the one tracking Dragos' death, are cycle clocks. These clocks tick themselves once a cycle and can complete without player input. Any active cycle clocks will be displayed on the icon in their location. So we have a debts down here, basically is what it's saying. So we have a debt called in. Dragos is tied up in something ugly, and if he misses a payment or two, things could get nasty. And this is a cycle clock. It looks like this one repeats, so we have to make sure we make enough money to pay him off. Back in business, every salvager knows they always just one lucky haul away from the next payday. So we just need to fill these up as well. Cool. Hey, Cookie Mama, how's it going? That's a lot of months. 39 months of courtesy flush. Wow. Thanks for the courtesy. Yeah. All right, so I vote we drop for 100% positive. Because we have +1.
Let's do it.
In Citizen Sleeper, you will unlock drives as you discover more about yourself in the world. Drives guide you in the pursuing specific objectives depending on which path you wish to take. You can track drives, and any track drive will place a yellow marker on locations that help you pursue the goal. Wow. Access your drive menu via the arrow button at the top left of the screen. Oh, it's not done yet. You are now free to explore Ireland's Eye and make a life for yourself here. Here's some tips. Try tracking a drive to help you survive. Look for food and keep your energy up, and a way to recover condition. Oh, wow. Hey, Lord Grimos, how's it going? It is time to get back on the horse. Hello. Thanks for the courtesy. Fill clocks to progress stories and find new opportunities, and remember to end cycle at your home when you're out of dice. Use the mouse wheel or S to scroll along the station. Okay, and rotate the view. Cool, cool. All right. Now the tutorials are over. Beneath the pockmarked holes, you find hidden containers, alloy plating, and wire bundles thick as your arm preserved in their trunking. Ooh. So we've made double. We're almost ready to give him a payday on our first thing. And Pharisee just dropped in 100 bits. Did you all know that Mike is actually a cybernetic film editor who turns into a truck under the full moon? It's true.
It is 100% true.
All right, so we've got a 1. I'm assuming we do it here. Because it's safe, so if we get a negative outcome, nothing bad happens to us. Let's just... You think that's fair?
Yeah, let's go for it. We might as well.
Oh, we did it. Neutral outcome. Back in business, plus 10 cryo. The salvaging is brutal work, but you take no small sense of satisfaction from the ordered piles and clear yard you leave behind. Oh, that's lovely. All right, we got one more dice. This is a 3, and if I put it here, it becomes a 4. However, there's a 25% chance it's going to be negative, 50% neutral, and 25% positive. Or I place it in the safe bet, and it's the same outcome, but this time I don't have to worry about I don't have to worry about the negative actually doing damage to us. So what do you think, Rafer? This is a tough one. This could be a gamble.
I mean, I do love a gamble, but not when it starts to hurt your actual body, so...
So you're thinking right here? Manual salvage?
Yeah, let's go for it.
Manual salvage it is. Here we go. Neutral outcome. We got one... so we got... we're almost at a big payday for this guy. I think Dragos is going to like us. Let's take a look at our data. Scrap components. We have 50 cryo dollars. And no data. Find a doctor. You need access to a corporate pharmaceuticals, otherwise this escape attempt will come to a rapid end. Ah. To make a life for ourselves, we're going to need a doctor. Does help. Alright, let's leave this. Let's take a little stroll across our ship here and see what we got. We'll stop all the way over here.
My god. This ship is huge.
Yeah, it is.
Sure, one day there will be a station, Space 14, where they can make this big station. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. Old dock terminal. Bright Market. Oh, that's where we probably find the doctor. And low end gate, passage into the low end. Oh, so this Halo ring city is oh man, this is so cool. Yeah, let's go to the Bright Market. Oh, I can't. We'll need to fill that bar up somehow. Okay, good to know. What about the low-end gate? So for 60 cryo, I can take the toll and go through the next gate. Let's take a look. Salvage sortie. It takes several cycles to reach starboard belt and return, loaded with scrap from the old wrecks. Oh, so you can go on like a long trip. Merchants willing to run the gauntlet of the Helion systems are rare, but those that do always return, eventually. Ooh. That's our yard, and then the shipyard. We can assist the shipbuilder. You don't have connections, but you do have skills. If you can get a shipbuilder to notice them, you might be in.
I do have a bit of a skill with engineering.
We do. Alright, so we have some options here. Yeah, I love Ring Worlds too. Let's end our cycle and go to sleep. We are the Citizen Sleeper. A tugboat's trapped to a rocket. It is, isn't it, Zalcion? This time you don't wake up. Instead, the ghost of the station, that shifting skeletal ring, surrounds you. For a moment, you are gone, absent from your own body, stretched out across a colorless void. Then the connections begin to establish themselves, threads tugging on the edge of your mind. These threads become vectors of exchange and then extensions. As you feel your thoughts slipping away down them, dissolving into the millions of distributed nodes they connect to, you see a station. No, you feel the station, like a web of texture in a smooth black liquid. Should we observe it or should we touch it?
Nothing have ever gone wrong with touching anything.
You're right, let's touch it. You find a point in the station and you connect to it, pulse through it, follow loops and paths under and around it. You touch more points than you have fingers, and then you try, in a moment of impulsiveness, to connect them. The flow passes through you so rapidly that you feel yourself being carried away with it, splitting and separating, eddying and gathering. As you do, things occur to you, things that you can't possibly know. You reach out, try to grasp them, try to touch them too. Become one with the petrol crow. Your American soul demands it. I need to sleep. Oh, have a good night, cats. Past 2 a.m. here, and I'm going to a wedding. Tomorrow we'll have a good night and enjoy the wedding.
Yeah.
You notice a tugging feeling pulling at you insistently, as if it were a small child. Somehow it is pulling in two directions at once, and you look down. All of a sudden, everything shuts off. You come back trembling into this unfamiliar body, both yours and not yours, all at once. You find yourself standing in the container, eyes now open to the dark steel walls. You feel a change within you, a shift. You close your eyes for a second, and you feel it waiting there, the station splayed out across your mind, a storm of connective nodes waiting to be explored, and then it is gone. We're starving. We need to eat.
Did nobody feed you?
Where do we get the food? That's the real question. We're fading. We don't have a whole lot of good dice this round.
We should probably try and find a way to get some food.
Where would you think I should go to get food?
That is a good question.
We are Neo? I think we are. That one seems to be sliding.
Yeah, let's try that.
Steal the dock plans. Explore the rotunda. Wow. Getting into some trouble, are we?
It is strange that we can't find a place to eat right now.
Is there like a return? How do we go to like the... I don't know. What's that?
We could probably toggle the paid records thing.
What's that?
In the little active menu, then you could toggle the various objectives.
Okay. What should I click on?
Well, it's just a bit weird that you can't find any food, but we should probably try and go to the market.
Okay, let's try going to the market. Let's explore the market. It's risky, but this is about the best dice we've got. Ooh, neutral. One local knowledge. You manage to follow the flow of people, and you start to appreciate, even enjoy, the chaotic layout of the markets. Oh, that's cute. All right, 50-50. Here we go.
Let's do it.
Oh, hey, that worked. You managed to follow the flow of people. Yeah, we enjoy it. All right, last 50-50. Please go in our favor. We need this. Ah, lost in the crowd. You struggle to keep a sense of direction. We'll have to come back at it tomorrow. How do we get food, though? Slum Doctor. All right, you're up.
Next.
Comes the call from the enforcer at the door. You shovel down the flickering hallway towards the open apartment door. You keep your head down and your shoulders high in the queue, trying not to bring attention to yourself. You were thankful for the tip-off that a doctor was operating out of this place, but now that you are here, you aren't so sure. The gang enforcer on the door, the flickering light strips, the decaying hab block, they've all made the long queue a test of your nerve. But your options are few, and without a supply of stabilizer, this body, your body, will. You suppress a shiver and a shuffle toward the front of the queue. You try to find something to distract yourself. Should we look inside or look at the enforcer?
We should probably inspect the enforcer.
Let's look
just to be sure.
The enforcer is looking down the corridor and you dare to glance at him. His purpose is unmistakable. He is there to intimidate, to threaten, and if necessary, carry out those threats. His broad shoulders are framed like a metal exoskeleton. A couple of mirror-like implants sit below his eyes like mercury teardrops. Subsidiary sense input or aesthetic markers, you aren't sure. You also aren't familiar with the geometric blade-like tattoo on his arm, but you make a note of it. You avert your eyes when he looks back at the queue. After a few moments, a figure pushes through the doorway, and you catch a distant voice.
Send the next one in, Toshiro.
The enforcer jerks his head and you slip inside, passing through the dark entryway and pushing through the plastic sheeting on the far door. The room beyond is bathed in a warm light. A floor-to-ceiling transparent panel gives a full view of the bright market's sealed roof and the buzzing traffic above, and for a moment, you're transfixed by the motion.
Come, sit.
Calls a sharp voice, and you see a silhouetted figure turned away, replacing the plastic sheeting over the frame of a simple folding bed. You make your way across the room. The figure turns, and as they do, you see an expression of confusion flash across their features. They open their mouth as to speak, they blink, and then quickly regain their composure.
Please sit.
They gesture to the bed and then turn an open case of tools on the table. You sit. Sabine turns a compact diagnostic scanner of some kind in their hand. They hold it to their eye.
Remain still, please.
Their tone is clipped with a businesslike. Businesslike. You stare ahead, still dazed from the expression when you first encountered. Fear, recognition, sadness, unmistakably etched across their face.
How long have you been on the station?
They ask, the scanner still to their eye. I'm just going to answer, right?
Yeah.
A few cycles. They nod.
It's good you came to me.
They set a diagnostic scanner on the table.
I'm going to start by assuming you don't know anything.
They take your arm and roll up your sleeve, inspecting your synthetic skin.
Your body's dying.
They say it without ceremony, without drama, but not without empathy.
SNR doesn't like to see its proprietary technology let loose. To prevent bodies like yours, frames, as they call them, from being stolen, repurposed, or in your case, escaping. They built in a process, a so-called planned obsolescence.
Yeah, planned obsolescence.
Obsolescence, yes. Frames decay rapidly when not regularly injected with stabilizers. one which, as an art, remains the sole producer of.
They look up.
They look. Sounds familiar.
Let's see.
It might be a good idea to say no, just to find out if you can get some additional information from them.
Yeah. So I hit no.
Yeah.
And now it's you.
That's okay. Most sleepers are prevented from proper access to this kind of information before they sign up to be emulated. That's how this works. As an ARP goes to great length to conceal the administration of stabilizers to active sleepers.
They swap to your other arm, running the thin metal device over your skin. You feel your forearm tremble.
I'm sorry.
Sabine says, and you are unsure if they mean for the cold touch or the metal or everything else.
Emulations like you, sleepers, as most people know you, aren't classified as people in any of the surrogate systems. You have no rights, no status.
They focus hard on the inspection of your arm.
And as an ARP, I have no reason to release stabilizers into the market.
Sabine looks up as to apologize again, but they stop themselves.
I know little of this. I know little of this is of use to you.
They turn away, disassembling the metal instrument and cleaning it. Silence fills the room as Sabine works, and then the silence gives way to tension. You stare back, willing them to say something, anything. Sabine turns to face you.
I may be able to help.
They sigh, and you see the darkness under their eyes, hear the fatigue in their voice. They gesture to the door.
You saw Toshio outside?
You nod.
He works for my benefactor, Yatakan. They are influential in the lower end. They give me this space to work, run the door, and take the profit. At the same time, I have to fix up their enforcers, tend to their implants, do up their rooms.
They look away.
But Yatagan has connections. Smugglers from the Starboard Belt, mercenaries working for the corporation on Ember. If they can source the stabilizers, maybe you have a better chance.
I think you will. Sabine sets down their slate, their notes complete.
This is dangerous. It'll be expensive, but I think we can do it.
What do you think we should say? Why help me or thank you?
I think thank you.
Sabine walks away to the window, their face dappled by the shadows of passing drones.
Let's just see if this works first. I'll let you know when I have a lead.
You nod and lead, Sabine still staring out, unmoving. When you reach the lower level of the market, you look back up through the panels of the roof to see if you can see their face, but the room looks dark against the lights of the market. You duck your head and walk off into the crowd. Ooh. Wait for Sabine to acquire the... So in 3 cycles, we'll have the medication we need. And food! Emphas is busy, his broad face uplit by the makeshift gas burner in front of him. With precise, delicate movements, he lays thick chunks of marinated fungus into a dented wok, his other hand idly tossing a metal bowl of sliced vegetables in some red-flaked dressing. The smell is incredible. You watch as he fulfills a set of orders, heaping the fungus with the bright salad and disposing of it in plastic trays. A stack of chits rattles in his apron pockets as customers file past the burner, handing over payment. Should we approach or watch? We need food. We're going to approach, right?
Yeah.
Time to join a game. Hey, what's up? Yeah, planned obsolescence always rubs me the wrong way as well, Grimos. You're a replicant, Harry. You need that ketamine white. What's it called? It's not ketamine white. Because it's not that ketamine's not what they take. That's really weird. Ketracel white. Ketamine white is what people in Florida take. That's a different thing. The Florida man. Been all right? Doing all well, Mr. Mackey? Good to see you. Glad you could stop by. DS9. I'm a little drunk. That's fair enough. Sorry, what's up? You join the queue. It's mostly made of off-duty salvagers, vac suits unzipped and rolled down to expose stained vests, grubby mods, a lattice of scars and tattoos. They discuss the best food on the eye, the best drink, comparing notes on bright market dives, their words cut through with heavy spacer slang. Eventually, it's your turn, and you shuffle to the front. Emphas speaks in a deep, even tone, without even looking up.
First try is free.
Thank him. The smell is almost unbearably strong as he cooks, the earthiness of the fungus laced with something so spicy the smoke makes your eyes water. The heat from the burner is like a bonfire and your skin hardens in its glare.
I know you. You sleepers.
Emphas says while he cooks, his voice deep but clear.
A hard life. A lot of stories.
He glances up from beneath his cap with piercing eyes.
I know.
Tell him a story. You begin to tell him about your journey to the eye, and he nods as he cooks, his eyes never leaving his work. You tell him of the confusion, the pain, and also the sense of possibility and its sudden arrival. You tell him of the cold and dark of the container and the endless cycles spent within it. Now it seems you tell him, like some dream that you once had but can never forget. This is a nanotracing facility? No, because we're actually getting things done. You tell him that the eye excites you and scares you, and you are unsure where to walk, where to look, what to do. Eventually, you tail off, running out of words. He places a plastic tray of steaming fungus in your hand.
Next time, we can talk some more.
He smiles.
But next time, you pay.
Ooh. He slams the heavy hand against the button on the burner's side and shuts it off. The roar of the flame and its impressive heat fades.
Next time then, sleeper.
He waves you away and begins to oil the wok. Before you turn back to the alley, you notice the geometric patterns of circular scars across his forearms, each surrounded with a constellation of glinting pin marks. It's true. You can kind of see it right there. You walk away, and as you do, you take a bite of the rich, spicy, delicately sweet fungus. Your taste sensors light up like a fusion reactor. You'll be back for sure. You're no longer starving. We should eat some more. Yeah, we can afford that, right?
Yeah.
Let's have some food. Yes! We're a full bar, so tomorrow we'll have all 5 dice.
Oh, yes.
Indeed. Well, hopefully. Now we just get arrested home. Or did you have something else we'd like to do?
I was curious about some of the longer cycle things. I don't think we can do it right now.
No, there's not a whole lot we can do until we return tomorrow. Like, this is something we gotta wait on. We have to have 60 credits just to go past that gate there. These are happening without our input. This is just something that's gonna happen in like 4 cycles. This one looks like it's going to happen in about 7 cycles now. And then we have this, which is the yard. We're almost back in business. Get our payday. And if we can get rid of this debt, I think we'll be okay. If we can help him get rid of this debt.
Well,
He seems like a cool guy.
He does. He gave you a blanket. Did not even tell you to really work, other than saying, hey, if you can spare some days out of your schedule, then come work for me.
Absolutely. All right, let's end the cycle. Let's go to our dream. There you have it, space fungus. 100 million reward. I'm 100% behind you on that one, guy on Broadway. When you see a USB stick and it says 100 million rewrites, that sounds like a challenge. I paid for those 100 million rewrites. I will damn well yell to us that 100 million. Yeah, I agree. Again, the skeletal ring of the station fills your mind. It sparkles with glittering lights like stars reflected in a winter lake. It's clearer, crisper than before. The threads still pull, but you remain in place, flickering in the flow. Between the threads you see bright shapes, caches of shimmering light beneath the transparent crystal forms. You follow the path of a thread across the ring, through these forms, then leap off into the void. You begin to understand. These are nodes and connections, a map of information and of communication. There are so many layers, so many loops, that it seems almost impossible to parse. But you begin to try. Should we focus on nodes or focus on the threads?
We should probably focus on the nodes, right?
Yeah. Here we go. The nodes are glassy, bright, but in all this flow, the only solid and fixed points. You approach one, a pyramid or triangle. Dimensions are difficult here. And lean close to it. Inside, shifting layers conceal a tangle of threads, a meeting point of exchange. But before you can glimpse any further, the glass clouds and hardens, cutting you off. The threads and nodes, passages and puzzles, boxes. One leads to another. There's so much here, so many answers, so many questions. All you need to do is follow the path and open the boxes. You look out across this ghost landscape of exchange and see an opportunity. But then in that insistent tugging again, pulling at you. You look down again and see two lines, two threads, pulling in different directions as if you were tied around you. Should we go after the first or the second?
Let's go with the first one.
The first thread leads out away from the station into the inky black. Someone out there is tracking you, hunting you, following the thread to you. They are in a ship, and the ship is approaching ever closer with each cycle.
Oh no.
The second thread leads in, pulling deep into the station. Your gaze follows it, and this time you see something, a sphere shimmering above a strange, angular body. A pulse shoots out from it, passing over you like a torch beam, testing you, tasting you. You open your eyes. Time is short. Oh, we're definitely gonna need to. Maybe we need to eat more. Yeah, our health is pretty low, but hey, we got a pretty high dive for this morning, so hey, not too bad. Oh, something has changed inside of you. You can now access the data cloud of the eye, a network of decaying protocols and data caches. While there, you can use dice and items to access systems and extract data. But be careful, these networks are old and strange. So click the eye button at the top of the screen to toggle this view on and off. Where? Maybe it's it's right there. Ooh.
Oh.
Keynodes. Oh, that's so cool. Was it Havnage Agents? Solheim Gate. That sounds Nordish in a way. Keynode. Alright, anyway. Enough looking into the Matrix. Let's just give Sabine our best, right? So
Yeah.
we'll drop this. Well, actually, no. See if we put it. So even if, no matter what, we're going to get a pass on this. So that's what we're going to do.
Yeah, let's do it.
Beneath the pocketed hulls, you find hidden containers. Ooh, positive. Oh, we figured we did it. We're going to get paid. So we have no more actions we need to take. We can just leave. Well done. Oh, let's go visit Dragos. You arrive into a buzz of activity at the yard. Red blinking lights flash across the vast dark shape suspended below the dome. They flicker across the scorched hull plates and bent structures, spilling from the holes in a twisted shape. The cutter is huge and has been torn apart in some violent encounter.
She's a beauty, isn't she?
Dragos stands to the side, focused on the hulking ship as if it lowered into the yard. What is it? Dragos laughs.
That, my friend, is an A-grade scrap. I should thank you. This place was on its last leg. This place was on its last legs when you turned up. And now look at this.
The ship descends slowly, its interior visible through multiple hull breaches. You struggle to gather the same enthusiasm as Dragos for this monstrous craft. You can't help but think of what became of its crew. What happened?
What do you mean?
He glances at you.
I managed to convince our salvager friends to give it to me on credits. That's what happened.
No, what happened to the ship?
Not my concern.
He shrugs. The ship creaks like a calving iceberg as if it reaches the base of the yard. Dragos is visibly excited.
I know I said to you you shouldn't stick around, but I'm gonna need some help with this one.
The drones start to crawl over the hulk, their lights illuminating flashes of a dented hull. Watching, you wondered if you arrived in a similar fashion, locked inside that container, the wreck of the S&ARP freighter lowered into the yard like a corpse ready to be butchered. Or was the container delivered to Dragos on its own, a womb of your rebirth into this strange station? You shudder. Perhaps if you could learn something about the ship, you might be able to trace the path that led you to this yard. Dragos squeezes your shoulder. Okay, there you go.
After these past cycles, I think we are up to it. What do you think?
You see the fading name of the ship emblazoned on its side, Winter's Light. Let's do it. He claps you on the back.
Glad to hear it. Come back in a few and we can make it. And we can make a start. A real beauty.
Dragos repeats, perhaps just to himself. You take one last look at the shattered ship and the drones start cutting, and then slip out of the yard, feeling suddenly cold in the empty passage. Paid off. Clear the debt and return a favor for your first friend in the eye. We did it. We cleared his debt.
Woohoo!
You have completed your first drive. Each drive completed unlocks an upgrade point to spend on upgrading your character. Access your character menu via the arrow button at the top right of the screen. Oh yeah, we can upgrade our character. What do you think? I can self-repair.
Wait, you can?
Yeah, it's an option. I could pick it. Use scrap components at the home to repair condition. We have one scrap component, so we could just repair some of it. You could do predictive reasoning for Intuit. Approach problems with awareness. Display potential and positive and negative outcomes. If we put a point in here, it would bring us out of the -1. Actually, no, we can't. But I can put that point here to bring us out of the -1 for the bottom.
Right now we really need to repair this.
All right, self-repair. I need 2 upgrade points for that. So we already
the
have
question-
efficient extractor. Gain cryo on interface actions. Photosynthetic skin. Sunbathe. Dice action allows energy recovery at home. Predictive reasoning dice actions display potential positive and negative outcomes. And then you look at the +2s for these.
You know, that is a very hard. What do you want to pick, Crow?
I'll be quite honest with you. I think we should pick this and just put a point in it so we're not permanently at -1. Because we can't get this. Not yet, anyway. There. We get rid of the 1 negative skill, which we do need to get rid of, because that is part of the reason why we can't get anything done in the market right now. Alright, so we need to get food. Or should we explore the market?
Yeah, let's. Do you want to use the big run for this and ask for directions, or?
Oh, we don't get a +1 on that. So it's 50% positive, 50% negative. Do you want to do that?
Yeah, let's go for it.
Oh, the difference is that it's just going to fill this down here. And we only need 1 more nugget. So if we spend it on this, we won't get anything extra out of it, will we? Unless it's like, unless we get a positive. Yeah, let's just do it. Why not? Fun times. Ooh, new draw comes. 6 cryo. Oh, here we go. Local knowledge. Action unavailable. Ooh, we got a hardware exchange. The flow of chits and components in the exchange is complex, but a sharp eye and some tight trades can get you a good margin. Oh, we can play the stock market. The Ord Exchange is always hungry for new hardware to buy out, break down, and sell off if you're happy to supply it. We can actually sell 1 scrap component if we wanted to.
We should probably keep the scrap for now.
Okay. We will need to eat food, though. We need food. Fungus fan. Yay! We now have full energy. Alright, doctor's still waiting on the stabilizer for us. The dock B2 is 2 cycles away from being complete. And Dragos' yard. Hunted. Someone out there is tracking you, following your trail. It won't be long before they arrive. Ooh. We have to find a way out of that. So
Do we want?
Oh, go ahead.
Do we want to try and see about getting a job at the shipyard? You are very skilled, after all.
It's true. I can assist a... Yeah. I could. Or... Yeah, we're probably going to need to get off this out of this place. Or we can help Dragos. Oh, he gets nervous about me being in the yard. So you're probably right. We probably do need to do this. What do you think? Should I hit?
We have to earn some money after all, so...
Oh, negative outcome. Boo. We're going to need to get our food back. Oh, we can't, because it's 15 credits per food, and we don't have that much. We have 2 scrap.
But we got a scrap.
Yay! We got money. There's an old ship mine fabrication stack in the back of the market, but only trusted traders get access to it. Ooh. I want to become a trusted trader. Should we sell the other one? Or should we keep it? Let's keep it.
Yeah, let's keep one of
All right.
each item.
Do you want to try accessing anything? Let's try this key node. Data actions allow you to extract data from the networks of the eye. They work like dice actions, but in order to unlock them, you must match your dice to the one displayed on the right of the action. If you have a +1 or a +2 modifier in the interface skill, you'll be given more possible dice to match. You can use any dice that matches the dice displayed. Once unlocked, the data can be extracted. So we don't have any dice for that. How about this one? Yeah, we need a 1, 2. Okay, so we just don't have any dice. We can't do anything with this yet. Oh, what's this? We need 1 Solheim cipher. Interesting. So we're going to need to get a Solheim cipher from somewhere. Interesting. All right. Very well. Let's continue. Let's go back home. And to end this cycle. Mainly because we don't have a whole lot going on right yet. Hopefully the doctor gets back soon with the medicine because we're going to need it. All right, we're currently at level 3 dice still.
Well, that is some pretty good dice.
Yeah. As you close up, a voice echoes down the corridor toward you. That's you?
Sleeper. Wait up.
Let's see. Feng is coming down the hallway toward you, a wonky grin on his broad face.
Hey, glad I caught you.
Do I know you? He grins.
You do now.
He puts a hand on your arm.
I've seen you hanging around. Just want to chat. You staying in that thing?
He nods back to the container, shaking his head.
Rough. Can be hard to get started on the eye.
He looks away down the passage.
What was it old Erlin said? The eye opens for us all. Nice idea. But well, not always very practical.
He glances back at you.
We do our best. But it isn't easy.
Erlin? You pass together into the main walkway.
No one has told you about Erlin. He's the founder of this place. That's why it bears his name. Haveness should organize some seminars.
He laughs.
Not really my department though. I'm with systems.
Haven Edge?
Think of us as administrative association for the eye. Depending on who you talk to, we either emerges as responses to or a continuation of Andrei's Erlin's original union.
He smiles.
Personally, I avoided it.
He stops you in the quiet passage.
Look, that's not what I'm here to discuss. I've been seeing some unusual network activity and, well, I know a little about you sleepers. I have a small proposition for you.
He glances around.
But this is not the place for it. I have an office just across the way. Give me a cycle or two to prepare, then when you are settled, stop by.
He lowers his voice and gives you a dark look.
In truth, I need you. If what they say is true about you sleepers, well, there's work to be done.
He pats you on the back, his voice bright, his dark look suddenly gone.
Stay clean, sleeper.
He walks off down the passage, raising a hand in farewell.
That was not spooky at all.
Alright, so she's got one more cycle before she'll have the stabilizer, which should hopefully heal us, because we need it. But yeah, let's where do you want to go?
I mean, we do need money for all that mushrooms.
We do. We can work in
I think-
Dragos' yard, or we can continue. We could try working here at the shipyard. But so far, we've
If
not
that's-
broken in here because it's risky and dangerous.
Do we actually get paid in Drago's shipyard?
Yeah, that's how come we have this stuff down here.
Well,
We-
then that's
We get a portion of what we pull out.
let's use our free dice one for the danger one. The free one.
Yeah. So that's gonna be perfect. Let's see what we put that in there. Okay, so there's a negative chance, which we don't want. 100% positive. Shipbreaking is tougher than slicing up loose salvage, but Dragos is happy to pay you a fixed wage if you're up to it. Yeah, let's do it.
Money's money.
Yeah, we got 16 cryo and ++ on our yard clearance.
Now the question is what we should do with the remaining bad dices.
We could find out more answers of what happened to the ship if we wanted to. It's a safer option, or we can continue working on it. Or being commandeered by friends. Have a good stream. Take care, Mecha. Doc B2's almost there.
Was it possible to use one of the bad dices to get some answers in the quote-unquote internet?
It's true, we could do that. Let's try it. We'll start with this node. It needs to be matching the input, which we don't have right now. Okay, here we go. No, that's 2. There was one that had 1. Keynode. Here it is.
Here it is.
A lone connection feeds into this isolated node. Its last access timestamp is 1,000 cycles ago.
Ooh.
Extract data. 1 encryption key. A stream of passcodes able to unlock the station's mag locks. Ooh.
Ooh.
Oh, that's the eye, so it lets us know like how long we have in here. Interesting. So if there's a place to use this, we could. Maybe we can find a way to get past the toll here. That would be kind of cool, huh? Well, do you want to put the last dice in Dragos' yard, or do you want to put it somewhere else?
Do we want to do a little gambling?
We could try. Hey, Steel, how's it going? 25% positive, 50% neutral, and 25% negative. Let's see what happens. Play the exchange. Here we go. Oh, we got a positive. We got double on that. 19 cryo. Excellent.
Very nice. We can now buy mushrooms.
We can buy mushrooms, yes. Or fungus in this case. Food time. Ah. Much better. Okay.
It's truly a feast for champions.
Indeed. End cycle. Let's see what happens going on to the next cycle. Oh, now we're down to 2 days.
No.
We could talk to Fang. Or we can wait for Sabine. Because we did. The first thing you see on the entering the glint of Toshiro's implants, like a cat's eyes in the dark of a corridor. He nods you in as you arrive at Sabine's door. The entryway is still dark and you push through the sheeting into the surgery.
I have it.
Sabine stands with a case open in front of them, a set of vials lined up inside, separated by foam inserts. They pick one up, rotating it in the warm light.
I have no idea how Yatakan.
They trail off.
We should treat this with caution. It looks authentic, but I have no idea if it really is what it appears to be.
I'm the test case?
That seems to be the case. Unfortunately, I'm unsure. Not sure we have another choice.
They gesture for you to sit on the bed.
The stabilizers works under a similar principle to the
Immunosuppressant.
in a transplant operation, and that it stops your body from rejecting the unfamiliar part of itself. In the case of your frame, the unfamiliar part is each of your biosynthetic organ groups, which over time are identified by your body as foreign material and therefore must be eliminated.
Sabine holds up a vial of the would-be stabilizer.
However, unlike an immune suppressant, the stabilizers don't do this by limiting your entire immune system. Instead, it re-encodes your biosynthetic organs with new protein chains which act as passcodes within your immune system. The stabilizer refreshes those passcodes, keeping your frame from rejecting all of its own organs.
Passcodes?
In very basic terms, yes.
They sigh.
Look, what matters here is the stabilizer should be able to encode any organic or biosynthetic matters to be accepted by your immune system.
They glance away.
At least if the stabilizers is genuine. The only way to know for sure is to inject the virus.
They begin readying the syringe.
I will start with a small dose to limit the risk.
Okay, let's do it. Sabine cracks the glass neck of the stabilizer vial and uses a syringe to extract the fraction of the liquid. They tap the syringe and you watch as if any sign might emerge from the clear liquid. You barely feel the needle, your frame registering the initial injection, but with little response. A sensation begins to spread from the site, a fizzing, a trembling wave that disperses through your arm with incredible speed. Your vision goes white, and when it returns, Sabine appears encased in shards of sparkling light that slowly fade into darkness as you settle back against your bed. You swim in darkness, muffled noises like an argument heard from underwater, prickling waves of cold. When you sit back up, Sabine is sitting in a chair nearby the window, facing away from you, backlit by the glow of their slate.
Awake,
What happened?
the stabilizers is genuine.
They sit down beside the bed.
I don't know how Yatagan acquired a case of this stuff, but they did.
Sabine looks troubled, distracted.
You should rest some more, but you're going to have to do that somewhere else.
They gesture to the door.
I have other patients. So,
Sabine nods toward the case. I'm afraid... no, it's you. Yeah, you got this.
I'm afraid I can't offer you any more doses. You're going to need to pay for your next dose.
Silence fills the room as they return to their glowing slate. Looking around the room, it seems different somehow, as if things moved or shifted. You wonder how long you've been out. Sabine?
Nothing comes free, sleeper. Remember that.
You manage to get to your feet and wander into the hallway. The queue stretches down the flickering corridor. Toshiro stands impatiently by the door and fixes you with a glare as you leave. You lower your eyes as you stumble past, somehow faintly aware of the station spinning beneath you. Yay, we're stable!
Finally!
I know, we've been trying to get stable this whole time, and now we're good. We're not withering away, and we'll have a full dice set. Alright.
Is it me or is it you?
Sleep. Yeah, you.
Sleeper.
Feng catches your attention as you approach the Havenage building leading against the bay door to its side of the entrance. Havenage. Yes, thank you. You approach.
Easy to come in this way, security, all that.
He gives you a look.
You know.
He slams a button and the bay creaks open, blinking lights in the dark behind it. You followed Feng inside.
Truth be told, I don't spend much time upstairs. This is where I work.
The door hisses as it closes behind you. The bay is filled with pieces of hardware, all rigged up to generators and diagnostic slates, and things you don't recognize that glow with blue screen light. There is a chorus of hums that blends into a single wave of static, filling the dark corners of the room. Fang leans on a server rack and gestures around.
You like it?
What is all this? He taps a nearby server rack which bleeps in response.
This is my treasure trove. Old dreadstore from the sea of systems. We call the Eye. You wouldn't believe what this place runs on.
He steps over to a towering block speckled with vents.
Some of these systems are from the original station. 8-1. The one Solheim built. We had to invent new component, prepare things we never built, reverse engineer entire subsystem into existence. Residents here look up at the Eye and think they're seeing a concrete reality. But this place is a system in constant flux, decaying and growing, collapsing into new configurations.
He walks down between the hardware stacks and you follow.
We are keeping this place alive, but also remarking it into something new, dragging it away from these corporate origins.
He stops.
At least, that's what I'm trying to do.
He turns back to face you among the flickering machines, humming all around you.
I know you see this too, Sleeper. All these systems and sections. You can't you?
I can see it.
It makes sense, right? You're between here and there, between the people and the systems. You light this place up like a beacon. That's what I need.
You glance at the lights around you, and as you do, they seem to flicker, to realign, to follow your gaze. Fang notices it too.
I'm guessing being a beacon isn't always ideal when you're on the run, though.
They are tracking me. He pats you on the shoulder.
Maybe I can help you with that. There's a lot of old growth in this place. Subsystems I can't see, access protocol lost to time and decay, secrets. A shitload of secrets. With your help, I can unlock this place.
Ooh.
Break off those last ghost limbs of corporate control.
He lowers his voice below the hum.
Even in Havenage, there's old growth. Those whose roots trace back in those bad old days. You help me dredge up the past, and I'll see what I can do about the track of you.
He winks. Oh yeah.
What do you say, Sleeper?
I'm in. Feng pumps his fist and claps you on the shoulder. He meets your eye.
You won't regret it, Sleeper.
Feng passes you a ragged looking metal tab.
A gift.
He smiles.
It's a Solheim cipher. I dug it up from the depth of the station. Slot that into an old network gate and you'll be able to pull out all kind of secrets from the nodes inside.
He walks you back to the front of the bay.
Start by bringing me whatever you can turn up. Use that emulated mind of yours to see what's out there. Let's get a picture of how things are. Those above,
He nods at the ceiling.
I've granted me an acquisition budget. I can pay you for whatever useful data you bring in. Know you need it.
He slams the door button again.
Keep it quiet and keep it clean, Sleeper. I'll see you soon.
You step back, blinking, back out into the passage, those flickering lights still in the back of your mind. Cool. So we can give him Solheim data, which we don't have data, we just have a cipher, we don't have the data. So if we get all three of that, we can get this tracker off of our back, which we need to do because we're already 2 cycles in, and it looks like this is going to be an 8-cycle thing before they get here. So what do you think we should do? This will be our last thing we do before we close out the stream. It's our last cycle before the stream ends.
Now, the ship arrived, right? The long one?
Ooh, I believe it did. You can buy some scrap. Or offloading scrap. The freighter will stay docked as far as many cycles offload. So this will stay here for 3 cycles. The freighter crew are eager to get their payload onto the Ord exchange, and they'll pay a wage to anyone willing to help them. That's an endure check. So there's that. As well, we have the exchange, which we have 1 perfect dice and we have 1 1-point dice. How much is a vial of stabilizer? 100 cryo.
Oh, no.
Too much right now. And then of course we have Dragos' shipyard, which we've only done 2 nuggets on. So what do you think?
Well, if we do... Yeah, let's try and go with Dragos.
Okay, we'll help Dragos out. And what do you want to do? You want to do a forensic trawl, which we could probably do with the 1 dice, actually.
Yeah, let's go with the light dice.
All right, this will be 100% positive, which will give us 2 nuggets and 16 cryo. You work your way into the ship, systematically separating and cutting. Piece by piece, the ship starts to come apart. And then we're going to drop this here in the safe. Now, it took away one of my yard clearance points, it looks like. It's impossible to understand anything with the ship being salvaged as you look. Dragos gives you a disapproving look. I think he might have obtained this ship illegally. I might be having a bit of a... Something bad's happening here. Hey, Wraith, how's it going? Subscribe for 45 months to the Courtesy Flush. Wow.
That's a long time.
Yeah, man. Well, we're just about to wrap it up here. We're going to go get some food. We have to be fed. Oh, and we're going to get our fungus fan point.
Look at that.
Yeah. Action complete. Does he give us anything extra?
Sleeper.
Emphas calls out to you, a booming voice that echoes through the corridor.
Tell me a story.
He throws a handful of chopped mushrooms into his wok, the fire leaping up to meet the oil.
I see you. Cycle in, cycle out. But we never speak. Tell me a story.
What kind?
Any kind.
He pauses to drizzle something onto from a plastic bottle into the wok.
But one of yours.
He looks up at you.
Nothing stolen.
You pause, the spice is rich in your nostrils, and think about what kind of story you'd like to tell Emphas. You look at Emphas, the listener, and imagine he has heard it all before. Perhaps he would enjoy a strange story, something with some spice. Do you want to tell him about our dreams?
That would be up to you. Huh?
Yeah. All the sleepers, you tell Emphas, had dreams. Some were simple, memories left over from the emulation process that had become tangled up in their minds and would come out when they sleep. It wasn't rare to hear a sleeper in the dorms scream out, cry out in the night. But your dreams, those gray skeletal after images of systems and structures, of threads and patterns, weren't like the others. They weren't memories or nightmares, they were reflections of reality. Distorted, yes, but somewhat true. You learned back then to keep quiet about them, to let them flow through your mind like water. It was until you arrived in this place, that it happened. Now your dreams colonize your waking life. They slip behind your eyelids and with every blink. And now you understand they aren't dreams at all, but some process of interfacing, of speaking, of living in another world that flows through this one like smoke through air. You tell him that you do not know if there is a reason for your dreams. Perhaps you reason it is just some side effect or particularly quality of the frame you inhabit. Whatever it is a gift and you hope to make use of it. Emphas finishes cooking and squints a little at you.
Sleeper,
He smiles.
you're quite the storyteller.
He eyes you and you realize that he's trying to gauge how honest you have been in your story. Emphas passes you a meal he's cooked and you take it gratefully. As you eat, he talks, a natural exchange.
Thank you, Sleeper.
He looks around at the emptying market.
But my time is done for today, and I do not want to keep you longer. So, I will make a proposal.
He gestures to the plastic boxes of ingredients stacked behind the stall.
These are good enough for most. Someone told me a story that made me think a couple of cycles ago. They said that across the gap in the greenway, fresh mushroom grow. Have you heard this?
No.
Neither had I, but I trust the one who told me.
Emphas begins packing up his things.
Can you bring me some? I cannot cross the gap, and I worry about leaving my things behind.
He smiles.
I am sure a storyteller like you could handle the trip. I will prepare them for you, and if you wish to tell it, be the audience for another story.
Agreed.
Good.
Booms Emphas.
Then I will wait for you to bring them.
Emphas slides his work away and straightens up.
I will prepare a recipe then, Sleeper. Good luck with your foraging.
You turn away and walk back into the main market, the rich taste of Emphas food still lingering in your mouth. Stories for food, you think. A trade that seems more than fair. Is that the case? No. You need 3 handfuls of Girol caps, fresh and from Girol. Okay, so we don't get free food. It was just a one-time offer. But that's okay. This is a good point to stop streaming and end our cycle. I'm going to end the cycle and then we'll just have it wake up next stream. Just like that. Going to sleep.
Just like that.
And look at that, we got a full dice kit. Look how many nice dice we have for when we return. Alright. So the autosave happened. Let's go back to the menu. Alright, well, thank you everybody for stopping by here on the Courtesy Flush. This is Rayford's first time streaming with us here. And how do you feel? What did you think?
a lot of talking, but I did expect it with this kind of game.
Yeah. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope everyone else did as well. Thanks a lot, everybody, for hanging out with us here. Yeah, wrong, citizen. It's okay. Thanks a lot, everybody, for hanging out with us here on the Courtesy Flush. I hope you guys have a wonderful Memorial Day weekend if you are in the United States or anywhere else in the world that might even want to celebrate a fine weekend of barbecue. Anything you want to say before we go, Rayford?
You make me awfully hungry for barbecue now, and I hope everyone gets to suffer for this. Go eat your barbecue now.
Indeed. All right, everybody. Thanks a lot for sticking around here on the Courtesy Flush, and we'll see you next time. Take care. Have a good night.
Take care, everybody.